Yo, what's up, guys? It's late, I know. As you can see, I was hanging out outside and I said, what a perfect time to put a video together for probably something that you guys are wondering the most about, and that's what are the worst things about Rio Rancho, right? And diving really quick into it, we're going to be talking about why Rio Rancho has so many great potential things, but yet still seems to miss the mark. So in today's video, guys, we're going to go over the top 7 things, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that is the worst about Rio Rancho. So let's get right into it. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Eli Nevarez, and if this is your first time tuning into the Living in Albuquerque channel, do us a huge favor, hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys are never missing out on any videos, because we are dropping videos every Tuesday and Thursday talking about what our beautiful cities like Rio Rancho and Albuquerque and all the major surrounding cities have to offer to you guys. Now, if you are looking to move down here, again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line, and I am a licensed broker here in the state of New Mexico. So whether it's the next 30, 60, or 90 days, if you are looking to move down here to Rio Rancho or Albuquerque, or you're just wondering about some other places like Tijeras or Las Lunas, feel free to contact me. I am the one that answers all the calls, texts, and emails, and I love to hop on a quick Zoom call with you guys. That way we can go over what the next steps are, really iron out the details, and make a plan around what it's going to take to get you down here. I've been talking a lot about what Rio Rancho has to offer as far as, the good stuff, the convenience, the necessity to grow, all that, right? It's good information, but you guys are probably wondering, Eli, what are some of the top worst things about living in Rio Rancho? And I'm here to kind of give it to you guys pretty much straightforward without, sugarcoating it and hopping right into it. We're going to be talking about some of the things like not having the convenience there, having to travel, and it's still a growing city. So there's a ton of potential, but it's going to take some time to get there. And, there's not a whole lot of stuff around there because of that. So, the convenience factor of doing stuff on the weekends after work, it's going to be pretty much solidified to just a handful of things that you're going to continuously do, which will make you a local there to those places. And Rio Rancho is big on that whole support local movement, just because there isn't a lot out there. So number 1 on this list, it's going to be one of my top ones, is that Rio Rancho, there's really nothing much to do. You're going to walk outside and it's just going to be big open field still, and that's because of the abundance of growth. Right now, Rio Rancho is sitting just above over 100,000 people living there, and that is attracting a lot of out-of-state people coming in because of all the different builders that are building homes up there, like in Mountain Hawk and Mariposa. And then you also have Los Diamantes community, which is attracting people not only from other states, but from Albuquerque. Believe it or not, Rio Rancho is still pretty affordable, to where the average price home in Albuquerque has gone from $350 to about $380, and Rio Rancho is sitting around $328. So with that kind of information, you can kind of guess that a lot of people are moving from Albuquerque, just getting to the outskirts of town. And with that, with the immense growth that they're seeing and tons of room to grow, people are buying land for super cheap out there right now and building custom homes all around those areas, like up on Northern and Southern, and other pockets like in Mariposa. So if Rio Rancho is something that you're looking forward to as far as growing with, you want to move to somewhere where it's not going to be super busy all the time, this is going to be something you're going to want to pay attention to. And you're going to be pretty surprised about this next one here and how it ties all into this. Okay, so number 2 on this list is going to be the commute. Just because there's not a whole lot going on over there, a lot of people are still traveling to the city like Albuquerque and Santa Fe in order to get, out of the city there in Rio Rancho to do stuff or to shop. Whatever it is, you're going to expect to be driving at least 30 to 45 minutes at any time of day in order to get to these neighboring cities. You're only traveling to those cities in order to get, the necessities like grocery shopping, clothes shopping, because there's not a whole lot of big box stores over there in Rio Rancho. So a lot of people are traveling down to Albuquerque to the mall, Costco, Sam's Club, all those big, wholesale places where they can, get all the necessities that they need in order to live their day to day for other people, Rio Rancho is just going to be enough just because they do have like Albertsons, Smiths, and some boutique shopping around the area. So if you're not going to be deterred by having to travel from one city to the other, you're coming from places like California and Texas where it takes you about an hour or two just to get anywhere, you're not going to find it of any trouble coming down to Rio Rancho and traveling to and from either work or, just to get out and do something in the city. Now, with the limited things to do there and with traveling to Albuquerque, a lot of people are traveling more often to these other cities for work, right? Because the business opportunities or the job market out in Rio Rancho is still kind of growing, is still flourishing. You have places like Intel and the Army that are bringing a ton of people just for the simple convenience that the Armory is out there and Intel sits right on top of the hill right there on 528, making it a very convenient drive to work if you are living in places like Cabazon or Loma, Colorado. Even if you have to travel down to the 550 and hit 528, you're not going to find it much of an issue. You might get stuck in traffic in the early mornings or in the late afternoons when people are traveling to and from home. But other than that, if you're just cruising through the city at any other time of the day, it's going to be actually pretty nice. And if you are working there locally in Rio Rancho, you're more than likely going to be working for a small local business because all those businesses out there right now are thriving because the competition is low. Most of the competition is over here in Albuquerque. And, just for the simple convenience of being down the road from some of those major communities, people are going to come to you. They're going to fully support you because you are within their community and you're going to see a ton of regulars. We're talking a lot about commuting just because people are doing a ton of it over there in Rio Rancho. Traveling to Albuquerque is just going to be a pretty normal thing, especially because when you go shopping, you're only going shopping for the necessities. You're not going to be, spending a ton of money unless you got the Amazon app. And we all know how dangerous that is. So be mindful, be careful. They still got Target and stuff out there, but majority of the people that are going to shop out there in Rio Rancho just because there isn't a whole lot to do or spend your money at, unless you decided to go to the casino, man, I'm giving you guys a bunch of tips on where to go and just have some fun. So with that being said, there are two different resorts out there. The casino at Santa Ana and Tamaya are just going to be a place that you can go and spend some money if you do want to get out, if you are of age, or you can take the kids bowling or whatever down there at the Santa Ana Star Center. They got laser tag, arcade, all that stuff there. But for majority, you're not going to be spending a whole lot of money during the week just because there's usually not a whole lot going on. You're going to be very mindful that when you go, down to shop to Albuquerque, that, hey, it took me about 30 to 45 minutes that I'm going to have to just be honest with you. When you become a local New Mexican or you just get adopted into our culture, 30 to 45 minutes just becomes an eternity of a drive. You just don't want to drive that far anymore unless you have to, like for work and stuff like that. So when you are coming to the city, you are trying to get just the necessities, right? The food at Costco, at Sam's Club, or, the clothes shopping down at the Cottonwood Mall, or whatever other stores that you need to get to here. You're kind of getting what you need, then going back home. Not really making any big pit stops unless you're stopping at like a Dutch Bro or a Starbucks just for convenience, right? Because you got to get that pick-me-up just because it'll be a long way home. But other than that, you can expect to just kind of chill out at home because for majority of the time, nice and peaceful and quiet out there. From the people that I sell homes to out there, they're always talking about how quiet it is in the evenings and how they're enjoying the sunset, having a drink on their patio or whatever. And again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. So if you are looking to move down here, and like I said, whether it's the next 30, 60, or 90 days, I'd love to hop on that quick call with you guys. That way we can really map out the details and get you down here to places like Rio Rancho, where you get to enjoy beautiful landscapes and beautiful evenings out on your porch at. So now let's talk about the minimal amenities that they have there at Rio Rancho. Now, they are going to have the necessities, right, like healthcare, groceries, and, those kinds of things. But for majority of the time, if you aren't going to like the Russ Medical Center that is tucked in nice and beautifully right close to Cabazon and Loma, Colorado, and you got the after hours pediatrics there, you are going to be going to the east side, which is UNM Sandoval. And if you're having to go to like bigger, more like a different kind of specialist and stuff like that, you might find yourself traveling to Albuquerque just to be able to fit those needs. Now, when it comes to eating out, as far as amenities goes, you're talking about fun and leisure. If you're not eating at the casinos, you're probably going to be eating local at a brewery or places like Joe's Pasta House, which is by far probably some of the best Italian food that I've ever had here in New Mexico. And then you are also going to have the Slim Chickens that just recently opened up. We actually just ate that tonight. And once you get past the long line, my favorite is the chicken and waffles. And by far, it beats out Cane's. And anybody can, comment down below on what you think. And I'd like to know what you guys think. Slim Chickens versus Cane's. Maybe we'll do a review video on Instagram for you guys. So feel free to follow us. Again, the @'s going to be right here. So give us a follow. If there's anything we can do for you guys about moving down here to Rio Rancho, feel free to DM. But when we are talking about the different amenities, Rio Rancho has pretty much the necessities. It's kind of a typical thing to say that, right? Because they have everything that you need there. If you need something a little extra, you can find yourself traveling to Albuquerque. So keep that in mind. All right. The weather in Rio Rancho is weather. No, all jokes aside, guys. But the weather in Rio Rancho is going to be a little bit more on the severe end. Not going to be crazy like tornadoes or anything like that, but they do get a lot more rain and a lot more snow than we do, especially since they do sit on the outskirts of the city. So you can expect to see a lot more snow. So just be careful if you are moving down here in the wintertime. Be prepared to have a four-wheel drive car, especially since some of the roads out there still aren't paved. You're still having to deal with a whole lot of dirt roads. And some of those roads, it takes them a while to kind of go and upkeep them. They keep an upkeep of 528 and 550 very well, just because they are some more of the highly traveled areas, and then Unser as well. But any other like neighborhood road that you're going to go down, you can probably find yourself kind of struggling a little bit. From what I hear, sometimes even some of the neighbors get out and, help to clear the roads and stuff like that, just to make sure that people are getting home or to work safely. So really big community aspect out there, especially when they're talking about, weather stuff and shift changing. But other than that, like I've told you guys before, you're going to be experiencing over 300 days of sunny weather. Best believe it, right? All right, so this one is going to be kind of like a positive and negative kind of thing. The public transportation that they have out there in Rio Rancho is still on the lacking side, just because they don't have the bigger commuter buses, but it is free. And they also have dial a ride, which you can call and they'll come to your house and pick you up kind of style. But for the majority, it is going to be just a regular bus. It's not going to be a big city bus that you're going to be seeing traveling through there, unless sometimes our buses from Albuquerque are traveling that way, which from time to time they happen to do. It's more popular during the Balloon Fiesta time, where people coming in from all different areas are, in Albuquerque and in Rio Rancho just trying to, enjoy the Balloon Fiesta. So that's when you can see some of the city buses in Albuquerque helping out Rio Rancho to get people to and from the events. But other than that, they are still lacking on that. They're not going to be top notch, but it is going to be free. So there's a positive to it, that if you are looking for public transportation, if you hit them up, they'll even come to your house and take you to and from where you need to go. So keep that in mind, guys. All right, so we talked about 7 things here, and I'm feeling like I'm getting interviewed by a cop. Just because I got these 2 LEDs right here. It's nice and dark outside. It is a beautiful night, and we got all these bugs flying around. It must be the pool just attracting them, or these big bright lights. But other than that, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us for a bit, talking about some of the more important things that we need to realize when we are moving to these other cities that really don't get talked about. So if you do have any questions, guys, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. I'd love to connect with you guys and hop on that quick video call. That way we can talk about what the next steps are about either moving to Albuquerque and buying a house, or whatever the case is. I'd love to make sure that we really iron out the details for you guys to make it nice and easy and smooth for you guys to transition over here to either Rio Rancho or Albuquerque or any other surrounding areas. So I appreciate you guys tuning in with us. Feel free to give us a follow, hit that notification bell. That way you guys are never missing out on any videos, because we are dropping videos every Tuesday and Thursday talking about all these great cities. So I appreciate you hanging out. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the night here. You guys have a good one too. Peace.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray.